We're fine.
We are fine.
Hey, you know what?
Hey, everybody.
You know what really matters?
What really matters?
Dating.
Yes, dating does matter. Hold on. I am totally not doing this very well at all.
I jumped
started
out.
talking and
I jumped out ahead there.
yeah.
Yeah, she was just getting the other one set up. So we've had an interesting topic that popped up into us this week. So it was timely for Valentine's Day, I guess. And so what are we going to talk about tonight?
We are talking. It says you're watching this. Todd Wyatt is
That's
watching.
weird. Yeah, I am
that's
watching
funny.
this.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, we are talking dating.
Dating.
Yep, and I'm going to give it, I know I said we're not going to really waste a lot of time because when this goes to YouTube, it wastes some.
Like this?
But yes,
now?
but I
This
am going
right
to
here?
waste just a tad of time because, it's it takes Facebook a little bit to let people know. YouTube, they can fast forward. So,
That's
anyway.
true.
So, we are going to go ahead and get
So she's
started.
telling me to ignore everything we just talked about in the last 5 minutes.
Uh-huh. Well, it hadn't been 5 minutes. It's only been one.
Well, before we came on, it was 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. So, what'd you do today, mister?
I worked.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Worked a little. Prayed a little.
Worked my tail off.
Yeah. Worked a lot.
I am working
Yeah.
all the time now. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
And
Is it?
Yes.
Is it really a bummer?
Yes, it is because I have a baby blanket to make.
Oh my goodness. You're going to make a baby blanket.
I used to get to do that at the office.
Yeah. Well,
Not
nobody
anymore.
else nobody else on the planet gets to make baby blankets at work
I
unless
used to.
you're
I
working
used
in a
to.
baby blanket factory.
Yeah, well, okay. So, our whole topic, I'm going to tell you where we got it from, was a TV show. It's not really a topic we got from the TV show, but
We already had the
watching
topic.
this kid, we already have this topic down pat.
And everywhere we go, once we get a topic, that's all we see.
That's all I saw.
Right.
So, we watched, what's it called?
The Good Doctor. The Good Doctor.
And, hey, Josh.
Great show.
It's a good show.
Good
so
topics.
anyway, he's learning how to date. And if you don't know anything about him, he's autistic. And so he's going on his first date anyway. He comes back and he's
a
telling
doctor.
everybody, I wish I could just play this scene for y'all.
I know.
He's telling everybody it was a disaster. And so he says, I'm going to read to you what he says, but I can't say it like he did because if I could, that would be amazing. He's just so good.
You just got to say it all monotone.
It was, no, he got very infectious. He was angry and everything was, he was all red. Everything, he was just whatever.
Filled with the coronavirus.
Yes.
No, that's not a thing to joke about.
It was exhausting, he said. Everything was always out of control. Anything could happen at any time, and anything did. There was too much to remember to do, too much to remember not to do, and none of it made sense. It was hard, uncomfortable, unpleasant. I spent the whole evening doing unnatural things to make her happy, and I don't even know if she was happy. Now, mind you, he's saying unnatural things for him because he's autistic.
Right.
Some of this is not unnatural to
Well,
us. And he says, and I
parts of
know
it are.
I wasn't happy, so it was all a disaster. Well,
Now, what was he saying that about? He was talking
His
about
date.
his date. It was his.
but what we want to talk about is dating as a husband and wife. But even
But that was his first date.
That was his first date.
He didn't know what to expect or what to do.
That's what I want to talk about.
So we're going to talk about it.
What do you expect? Even back when we first started dating, when you first met me,
Yeah.
what were your expectations of a date?
Well, like you would go
I mean,
someplace.
what
you
were
would
your
plan.
expectations?
Well, you would go out with somebody and share food and drink and talk.
But did you expect to be, all dressed up and have to buy her flowers? And
Yeah, sometimes you did. You had
that kind
different
of
things,
stuff?
but mostly it was quite an ordeal. You're trying to impress the lady, so you
which
kind
was
of
Sean's problem.
yeah.
in the
So
show.
and so you went out of your way to do all these things, and some of them are unnatural. I mean,
Right.
buying flowers for me is extremely unnatural. It's nothing I think about. I would never think about it if it wasn't for the fact that you said that's something you like. To this day. So I'm like, that's a very unnatural thing for me because it's just not even in my psyche. Turning on the iPad while we're doing this, that's not natural.
I'm reading Josh's comments.
Yeah.
Yep, you know who that blanket's for, don't you?
So, yeah. Well, we're not talking about blankets, though.
No, but I'm talking to his comment. Okay.
So it can be overwhelming, confusing,
right.
And who hasn't been on a date
that's been awful?
That hasn't been wonderful and awful.
Right.
And somewhere's in between is where they kind of all fall because,
right.
We've had good dates and bad dates.
Yes, and we want to talk. So the whole topic tonight is not just that,
what is a date?
How to date, but we want to talk about, why do we have set expectations that everything has to be a certain way? And, of course, now with the days of social media, everybody's in competition with each other with what hubby's doing and wifey's doing and all this. And
you mean the fake dates?
And the fake stuff. Now, some of it's real. I mean, usually when we're posting, we're traveling, we've gone out to eat, we're doing dates and stuff. That's, that's real stuff. That's real life. But we get on here and we tell you just how crappy life can be sometimes, too. So, I mean,
I've taken pictures of food before.
We don't hide anything. Well, but we also don't.
Take more pictures of food than I do of you.
Well, that's true. There's never anything posted about me on his Facebook, ever.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the only social media you really have. But
yeah.
I mean, there's never anything about me. But I don't care about that.
Oh, yeah?
But, I mean...
That's not true. Liar!
Yeah, okay. I care about it, but not...
Right.
It's not a big deal. It's just, it would be nice for you to say you love me to other people. That's all. But the most important...
Baby.
I know. Good job. Okay, so we're talking about dating, but the problem is...
By the way, doesn't everybody love this outfit? You can see her outfit. I mean, it's kind of perky today. She's got all these little
I got
things
red on and pearls.
And that's little red hearts for Valentines.
For Valentines.
So she's very perky all day today.
Okay, so we're talking about dating. Let's get back on the topic.
Yeah, this would look good on a date.
It would look good on a date. But we're talking about...
You want to go out?
I would love to, but we have to stop working first.
Oh.
So that's also part of the problem.
Let's put that off then.
It's also part of the problem because y'all get, life happens. Kids come along, you're working.
Yeah. When's the last time we went out on a date?
Can I talk?
No.
You go to church, you're involved with ministries, you're doing all the, small groups. Those don't count as dates, people. Just saying.
No, they don't.
You go to a small group together, or a couple small group, or Friday night we're going to.
It could be like a date because you could have a lot of fun there.
Friday night we're going. It's Valentine's night, and we're going to go join this new ministry at the church for couples, and we're going to go. But that's not a date, and he cannot claim that as a date. No. But we're going to go have fun together.
We left the house and had fun together. That's a date.
We're going to go have fun together, but this one is not a date. No. But, so, what you have to do, though, is start thinking about what do you think the other person would want to do. When Sean was freaking out.
Make a blanket.
When Sean was freaking out,
yes,
it was because he was working so hard, buying the flowers, dressing up, taking her to this fancy restaurant, didn't know which forks and spoons and knives to use and all the stuff, when, later on what he learned was from somebody else that sometimes dates are just what?
He missed the whole point of the date.
Right. Because he was too
focused on
all the stuff.
The wrong things.
But what did he learn?
What did he learn? There's a couple things he might have learned.
He said all of this stuff, and his friend said, but sometimes I've had the best dates with just...
Holding hands? Or
no. Sitting on the couch eating a bag of chips with a friend.
Right. Close enough.
Those are the best dates.
Right.
And
simple.
So so that's kind of part of what we want to talk about is, there are so many different ways. I downloaded all these different dates people can go on.
Yeah.
And they're right here.
Have I done any of these?
The first one's a picnic date. And I'm thinking, that'd be nice, but I don't do well outside.
Yeah, that wouldn't go well.
So we're probably not going to do the picnic date.
No bugs. Texas.
But you could take me fishing. That's the only time I do outside.
That's a date?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
A walking date. We like to walk sometimes.
Who said that?
When it's not 150
Who you been talking
degrees
to?
outside. Oh, but then you have the elegant dates. And this is the part that scares a lot of men because they don't know what to do. Or if you're the man and you're used to this and you're a girl and you've never really been on a fancy place and you've never, been taught all the things, you might get nervous. So...
Well, a lot of times you go on a fancy date, you get in over your head. You're not sure the etiquette you're supposed to do, forks, spoons, tips, service.
But it doesn't matter which one of you is uncomfortable with it. Y'all should try it sometime if you can afford it. I mean, it doesn't really matter about it's just you get to get dressed up and do something fancy together. It doesn't matter. She doesn't have to have flowers for that.
That's true.
Y'all both get to get dressed up. You both get to go to the restaurant. Right. If you use the same fork for the salad, dinner, and dessert like you do at home, then who cares? I mean, so go have some fun.
Doesn't matter. Just use the other one. Use one for one and one for the other if you don't know. It doesn't matter.
Dance date. Ooh. You want to go dancing?
No, I do not. I'd go back to the more elegant one.
Y'all, I haven't danced in 30 years because of this dude.
That's true.
Well, no, that's not true. I dance all the time, but I don't get to go dancing with someone because he doesn't.
Those were just sin parlors.
Impromptu dates.
Impromptu dates?
Yes. Those are awesome. But I don't think we've ever had one.
We're not very impromptu people. We like to know what we're doing.
Movie dates, going to the cinema. Because movies bring out the emotions, whether it's fear, whether it's love, whether it's just joy. Sometimes it's just, good,
I think it's
a good movie.
I think popcorn's what does it.
Popcorn?
It makes you romantic.
Double dates, friendship dates. Technically, I would say that I guess Friday night's thing could be a date because we're with a bunch of friends and it's Valentines and we're celebrating. But go on another date. A compassion date. Go bless somebody else.
Compassion date?
Well, they're
like
just giving you all these different... No. Compassion. Let's say
what does that mean?
Well, let's decide we want a day date. And we could go down to the children's hospital and go visit some children and take care of them. You could go to a nursing home and visit with some elderly people that may not have family that comes to visit them. And yet that's a date because it draws us closer together and we're ministering to somebody else because we're able to spend some time with them. So that's a different kind of a date.
Kind of a blessing date.
Well, that's why they're saying compassion. You're showing compassion to someone. You're spending time together showing God's love and compassion.
Within ourselves, we would share a lot doing that because it would be something very moving. Mm-hmm. And we would receive as much out of it as they would. So there you go.
Candlelight dinner date. Ooh. I don't think we've ever done that either. 30 years of marriage.
We've had candles and we've had dates.
But not candlelight dates.
But we've had candles at our date.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, at a restaurant or something.
When we had a steak and ale restaurant.
Yeah.
That was one of our more elegant ones. You got all dressed up in a really nice, hot, white
some of the
gown,
things
and that was really good. It's one of the best dates we've ever had.
Was it? Was that one of your favorite dates?
It's one of my favorite dates. I remember it to this day.
Did we have a bad date that you don't want to remember?
There's been several bad dates.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your worst?
My worst?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my worst was...
What was your worst date in memory for us?
Worst date ever had to have been, of all things, we went to an event downtown.
Yeah.
And
this was so bad.
I mean, I'll even tell you who it was, but
it was so. It just doesn't matter who it was.
It was just we went to go see somebody speak.
Yes.
It was kind of a rally thing that we went to.
Right.
And I forget the name of the place downtown. It's down by the convention center, but it wasn't. It was one of the new things that's part of the new convention center area, and it was a horrible. You
were so upset.
Venue.
Yes.
Everybody was sitting in chairs. You couldn't see.
It was dark. We couldn't get in.
We're all on one level. It was so hot and stinky, and everybody's drinking and stinky, and
it was awful.
You couldn't see people's hair in the way. The sound was horrible.
So that's your worst date?
And I'm standing on my tippy toes the whole time. I didn't even know you were there. I was just like, oh my God, this is just awful. Can we just leave? I was just miserable. From the time we parked the car, and it was something you did for me to be really nice, and I was just like, it's not winning.
I think it was a birthday gift or something.
It was awful.
I have a worst date.
But it wasn't because of what we did. It truly was the destination. The destination ruined it.
You were so upset and so miserable.
I had
the whole
so high expectations, and it was way down here. And I was thinking it was going to be way up there.
And you let it ruin everything instead of enjoying it.
And I poo-pooed that date.
You did.
All night long. Yep.
You did. They have on here, I think they've gone to some extremes on dates. It's like...
What's that mean?
Well, like a special moment date. So you go celebrate as a couple, like birthday, anniversary, graduations. To me, those are just standard. I mean, even if it's dinner at home, I'm going to celebrate your birthday, you know?
Yeah.
Anniversaries, we can do it. I mean, it doesn't have to be a date. I'm just saying it's a good what?
So I'm looking at your thing. What the heck's a makeup date?
That's it's where you put my makeup on me.
No, I didn't.
No, makeup dates if you've been fighting, so you have to go out and make up. Like you have to be out to make up. But anyway, that's why I said I think some of these, I mean, I get what they're saying. They say if things between you two haven't been going well, and married couples,
start with a makeup date before you get to the makeup.
Well, sometimes things don't go well, and you make an effort to save. You want to
sometimes a makeup
put some effort into the relationship.
Is to change the speed and direction of the way things are going. Let's just ignore what happened over here. It's not relevant. Let's change ships, do something different.
Right.
Find new horizons.
So I have a worst date.
You have a worst date.
I have two worst dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they involve me?
Yes.
Oh, they do both of them?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
You only get one. What are both
of them? I have two.
Okay.
Our first date was awful.
What was it?
Not
when we met, the first date.
No, I don't count meeting you. I count the date.
Right.
We went to Marco's Mexican restaurant.
Yeah?
And we went and saw Parenthood with Steve Martin.
Right.
That was our first date.
Yeah.
Well, Parenthood wasn't so bad, but being in a theater, there was no talking.
Right.
We didn't get to spend time together.
We went through the exercise.
We didn't get to know each other. And Marco's was a horrible restaurant. It was like the worst for me. It was not my favorite. So that whole date, I mean, it wasn't like about us.
Dud.
We didn't let it ruin us. It was just like,
we just kind of wasted the evening. Yeah.
But, I mean,
it fell flat.
Yeah. So, anyway.
What were you looking for?
Huh?
What were you looking for that you didn't get?
Just to be able to get to know you somewhere quiet and, maybe where there's not a bunch of people and loud and not in a movie theater. Not our first date.
Yeah, you wanted a connection date.
Yeah, which is something that I think
that requires...
husbands and wives need to connect more. So you do need to go to places because... Like, we love Papacitos. Their Mexican food is just amazing, for us anyway.
You bet.
But they're loud.
Pineapple.
So if I'm wanting to talk to him...
Forget it.
I can't go
Especially since I can't hear half the frequencies that are out there.
Right. So you gotta work with what's going on.
Yeah.
They have one on here I think is hilarious. Old love date.
Yikes.
Dates are not for young love only. Sadly, as lovers stay in a relationship or marriage... The dates become fewer as they go through the motions, no matter how long you've been together. Step outside your everyday responsibilities and go for a date to rekindle and sustain the excitement. They just described
us.
Well, actually, that's not true. We've dated our entire marriage until...
Until what?
I started working for him. And because I'm with him 24/7...
You are on a 24/7 date.
Yes.
With this honey.
Yes.
You're getting all this.
This hunk of
all
a man.
All the time. I don't know how you endure.
Me on a date with him.
You should probably go to bed earlier.
And I'm just saying.
I think.
I deserve better.
Better than what? Me?
No, a date. I deserve a date.
You probably do. I asked you the other day if you wanted to go to the movies.
And you didn't take me.
You didn't want to go.
No, I did not. I said I wanted to go.
You didn't want to go.
No, that's not what was said.
Yeah, you said, I don't want to go see that. That would, it's always, that's going to be too exciting. Or
I said I would go see Dr. Dolittle on Saturday with you, but I didn't want to see the Joker if it was later in the day because I'm going to get all
She has this
emotional.
rule: she can't see anything exciting past 4:30 in the afternoon.
I'm old. My emotions get all jacked up, and
If
then
the
I
mo-
can't sleep.
If the movie goes past 5 o'clock, it's a no-go.
That's not true.
Matinees
Not that late.
are her thing.
Not.
Yeah, we're pretty well there.
No, not that bad. You could do a sports date. You could take me to an
what?
XFL game,
Okay, we could do that.
an NFL game. That would be
way better.
Yes.
Way more expensive, too.
A friend's date. Friend's date. You know what that is?
No.
Huh? Where you
You date a friend?
hook up with friends and
Hello.
throw a party
I don't
is
think
what
you-
it says
yeah,
here.
I don't think hooking
You
up's the word we
organize
should probably
something
use.
as a couple where your love will be celebrated in the presence of close friends. That'd be
That
kind of
sounds
like,
terrible. Okay.
Well, no, like
Just the way it's worded, I'm just saying. It's,
Okay,
I'm just saying.
but when you did
Just saying.
when you proposed to me on my 40th birthday,
yeah.
and we had, I don't know, 75 people at the house. It
Did
was
we?
crazy big.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a ton of people. They were in the backyard, the
I
front
didn't
yard,
notice
hanging out
anything
the
but
side.
anybody but you, baby.
Yeah, right.
I think they're buying it.
No, they're not. So that would have been a friend's date. But I mean, that was a birthday party too. So I mean, it was
Right.
kind of like
Yeah.
everything rolled in one. But the big thing about that date was that's
What?
when you proposed to me because you never proposed to me prior.
That's true.
So you made it a plan to do it, and it was really kind of impressive. We'll have to put that video
Oh,
on
yeah.
what really
Put
matters.
that up there.
We
Why not?
should. We
Yeah.
should. No, seriously.
Oh, man,
we
I was wearing
should.
this really
We
quirky
both looked
striped
horrible,
shirt.
but I don't care about that.
Oh, it's so timely.
The part that's so good was the fact that our boys, Drayton was so excited. He
Not
was
every
like,
day your kids get to watch you
He
propose.
was like 12
What?
years old, and he goes, I got to watch my dad propose to my mom. It was so cool.
Now that's a modern family for
So, yeah. But, I mean, it wasn't like we had kids before we got married.
Right.
I had Crystal, but we didn't have the 3 boys.
you. Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't like we got the
What
cart before the
anniversary
horse
was
and all
that?
that. Huh? That was my 40th birthday.
Yeah, your 40th
That
birthday.
wasn't
That's why I
an
meant
anniversary.
But
Travel date. Pack your bags and travel. We
let's
do
do
travel.
that.
We do travel. It's usually to go see kids and family.
Yeah, but it was really fun when we went out to, what was the small town we went to?
Oh, yes. When we went to Gonzales, Texas. Now
That's a great place.
And when we went to San Antonio.
Yeah? San
Best
Antonio?
date ever. Well, Gonzales, the whole weekend was
Very
just
historic,
fantastic.
but we got to meet mayors and
it was
important
just,
VIPs.
but we had fun.
We did.
And there was no work.
And you even had a really weird encounter with the guys that were doing the movie video.
Trying to be.
Pirates of the Caribbean. That was funny.
That was
so
fun.
we got caught up in all that
But
stuff.
I loved San Antonio because that's where and this is something couples don't do.
I'm
Y'all
really
need
not
to
that
do
big into
this.
San Antonio. Sorry, guys.
But
we did find
this
ways
was
to enjoy it.
fun.
This was fun because we were
Okay,
off the beaten
I
path.
love San Antonio.
She does.
I love San Antonio, and he does not, so I don't get to go very often. But
Comes the hate mail.
he does not go very often.
Right.
But we went a couple of years ago. In
Stay.
fact, that's why What Really Matters started.
Right.
But we went and we took the weekend. It was kind of for like a convention that we were doing for Unique. But we didn't really go to the convention. I just went and got my free stuff. And we used the weekend, I'm just saying, being
We
real.
went to a couple of things, but
Right, to get the free stuff.
well, yeah, but it was still very good.
Yes.
We got a lot of inspiration.
We got
out
a
of
lot
that.
of stuff
In fact,
out of it. God
it did
used
inspire us
So we stayed up all night talking.
without trying. It wasn't a goal. We just
No,
started
it was
talking
just-
and got excited about
But
each other and our
here's-
future, and we got very personal about what our plans are and who we are and who we aren't and what we want to do together.
And
We
but
actually
we didn't talk kids. We didn't
Nope,
talk grandkids.
nope.
We didn't talk work.
office. Nope.
We didn't talk any of that. We
Yep.
talked about, our hopes and plans for the
Right.
future.
Purpose
And work. Well, we did talk work, but just like what we wanted to do business-wise and ministry-wise, that kind of work, not like talking shop. And we got a lot actually out of the convention to apply to some of even what we're doing now.
right. It's totally true.
But we just sat there and talked all night, and then I was like, "Oh my goodness, it's like 4:00 in the morning. We got to be up in 2 hours." And then it was really cool because it was like, wow, this just took us back 28 years to when we were first
Yeah,
dating.
and it was just a simple little B&B that's in a little house just around
Airbnb,
downtown.
yeah.
It was.
So travel dates, stay-at-home dates. Stay-at-home dates are good. I think, where you can, and that's like the, stay-at-home dates are good. Why are you looking at me like that?
What does that even mean?
Well, we still have a kid living with us, so when he's not here...
Oh, you mean the simple ones where you just...
You just grill the steak and...
Hide from
we
the world?
watch a movie and we just stay home.
Hide from the world dates.
But you still do like what we did in San Antonio.
Yeah.
We watch a movie together, or we still talk and plan and do.
The funny thing is she usually sits here and I usually sit right where I am. This is kind of how we sit. We're not on the same piece of furniture here. So when we were doing this, she's like, why don't you come sit over here? And it just changes your perspective of the evening when you're no longer plopped in your I'm just watching TV spot. All of a sudden you connect. You're in a different environment.
When I asked you to come sit on the couch with me. Yeah, I came sitting
over there, and it was like, that changes a lot of the perception.
Change. Well, and it changes a little bit about how you feel. So the whole point is, I think one of the reasons why people don't date, my back is hurting.
You mean $80 to $120 worth of flowers?
Is they feel...
May or may not do it?
They feel like they just can't measure up.
Right.
Or they feel like they have to do things they don't understand, or they have to spend money, or they have to go places that they were never taught to go. If you didn't have money growing up, which I mean, how many of us really did, but didn't have money growing up to learn all the things, and then now suddenly you have money and you're going out, but you're embarrassed because you feel like you didn't learn anything. I wouldn't let any of that stop you. The whole point of being together, and this is whether you're dating or married, is to get to know each other. And after 30 years, it'll be 30 years, well, technically married 30 years March 31st.
Yeah.
We've been living together for 30 years already. Because we kind of got started early before the wedding.
Yeah.
You moved in September.
Yeah.
So we've been together for 30 years this past September.
Right.
So... but
not
30
part of
years...
not part of the program we prescribe.
No, I don't prescribe that.
But
no.
Anyway, we've talked about it in a variety of different ones prior to now.
Yeah.
So.
I'm just
it's not
saying
new
we've been
news.
together 30 years.
Right.
We still are learning each other. And that's kind of the part that you want to remember. It's fun. It's to keep you on your toes.
Yeah. I mean, you're not the same person that I took to Steak and Ale 30
years ago.
8 years
30
ago.
30 years ago this past September.
Yeah, 30 years ago.
Man, I thought I had really, really got somebody with lots of money because I'd never been to Steak and Ale.
Hey, don't diss me.
No. I was really proud of being able to go to Steak and Ale.
It was a big deal. And I wish it was still around to this day. I still miss it.
Well, Shanghai Reds was our big
Shanghai Reds. Oh my goodness.
But
we ought to all get together and
because,
open that place back up.
I thought Steak and Ale was something really super fancy and all this, and it was okay.
It's still nicer than most restaurants today.
I know, but most people would consider like Ruth's Chris and some others much, for me, that's where Steak and Ale and Red Lobster were. Nowadays, those are just like, that's where you go to dinner. Yeah. It's where people go a lot.
What was that place downtown we went that was super? Charlie's 519 or something downtown? Something. Oh, it wasn't you? Okay.
Was not me.
We don't want to talk about that.
So when we're talking about dating each other, even after 30 years, you get to know each other. And there are still you still want to do things like being dressed really nice and taking care of yourself.
Well, you don't want to go out with nasty old teeth.
But I know, but that's just it. A lot of people being married are like, I'm already married to him, so it doesn't really matter. But it does. So,
of course it does. I don't want you eating
that
cheese that you buy and then coming at me.
All of this applies to whether you're in a new relationship or you've been married 30 years. You want to spend time in quiet places on the get to know each other's parts, right?
Here's a question for you. Of all the different things we've done over all these years,
yes,
we've done a variety of different types of dates. Big ones, little ones, fancy ones, fuzzy ones, cutie ones, all the different
I
types.
don't know if we've done cutie ones, but okay.
But which
I don't know what he means by
of
cutie.
all those things that we've done
Yeah.
connected with you that you still remember today? Is it the fancy do everything?
No, it
Is
was
it the
sitting on
couchings?
that bed in the Airbnb in San Antonio.
Right.
That's the most important
Well, that's
date that I
completely
think we've ever
seemingly
had.
contrary to most of the Valentine's Day things that you
Right.
see. Is what we're saying is a lot of times that's not what it's about. We found more depth in our
we
relationship
connected,
by
but,
eliminating all of that
the
stuff.
The other one was in New Orleans.
Right?
We were in a condo apartment, whatever
Right.
it's called,
It
and
was.
Linda Parker was there with us, so
Right.
it wasn't really a date, but she was in bed, so it was kind of a date.
She gone.
But we sat up in there and talked, and
Right.
it's kind of funny because you can be more.
Oh, it would have been even better if we had a balcony and I would have sat out there and over.
It was just
we were on
the
St.
being
Charles Street,
able
so it wasn't
to-
over the crazy part. It was over the quiet part.
being able to just sit and share, because even after 30 years, we still have things that it's like,
Oh.
this is where I am. What?
I also loved it when we went to the condos at South Padre.
Oh, we did go.
And we spent the weekend.
Well, we spent a whole week.
Yeah,
Your parents
well,
watched
yeah.
the kids.
Yeah, I mean, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that was.
Because that was kind of all things combined in that one right
my
there.
beach,
so.
my water. That was awesome.
And what was the most awesome? Sitting on that balcony,
Yes.
quiet,
Yes.
at night,
Yes.
just listening to the ocean.
But we
and
still
the
didn't
waves.
do. I mean, we always talk
And we
because
Didn't
y'all,
have to
you've
say
watched
anything. We
us.
just held
We're
hands and
constantly
sat there
talking.
and listened.
But
That was awesome.
we talk
Let's go.
all the time. But the two times that I feel like we really did big connecting was in San Antonio and in New Orleans.
Right? We should go
I mean, when I say real connecting,
to more cities so
you know,
people
I mean,
should
like-
go to.
Oh, I'm all for destination dates, baby. You can take me on a
gotcha,
trip
yeah.
today. So what we're trying to say is, don't worry about what you're doing on your date. Go
Right.
spend time together. Don't talk kids. Don't talk. And I know sometimes that's all going to come up, but try to focus on thinking about who.
No kidding.
What?
Try to focus on the important things.
But start thinking about, even if you need to plan what you want to talk about before you go
Take
out.
the spontaneity away.
Well, there might be, if a mom
just
is home
playing
all the
devil's
time.
advocate.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, a mom who's home with the kids all the time knows nothing else to talk about other than her kids. She might want to go make notes
Yeah.
that she can have to say, I can talk about this with him, I can talk about
That
this
was
with
not
him.
us. That was my son.
I can talk about this with him and bring it up. And that way, the kids may come up some, but then you can bring it back to a topic. And, husbands and wives, whoever's, you need to start asking those questions. Because the part I think with New Orleans that I thought was really big was, it was a conversation on spiritual growth.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he was really, really honest with me about something, and he was kind of actually not afraid to say it, but didn't really want to say it because he thought that I would respond in such a way. But he went ahead and shared it, and I was like, okay, I hear you. I mean,
You just want all that deep underpinning stuff.
I do,
Yeah.
because it shares who you really are. And you hide it, and I don't want you hiding it. I want to be able to get to know that. And I think a lot of couples don't share the really, really deep stuff because you're too busy. You're too busy working. You're too busy with kids. You're too
Right.
busy with ministry. You're too busy with keeping up with the Joneses and all the baseball games. And there's nothing wrong with going to your kids being in sports.
We removed
but
ourselves from all that spinning
Yeah,
stuff, and we
yeah.
found ourselves in a still environment. And what was left was us.
So y'all need to take the time to do that. If you're just getting started, if you're just learning to date each other and you're just getting to know each other, it's not any different.
I mean, there are different personalities out there. Some people really love doing a lot of different things. That's how they would connect,
Well,
and that's fine.
I like
But
doing way more stuff than he does.
I like the simple things. The things that makes you.
I would go. There's more things I would do than he does. I would like to go out more. But, so my big complaint is our whole dating thing.
Where do you want to go?
Huh? Where do I want to go?
Yeah, see? Got nothing, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Dancing's not start. Yeah, that doesn't
Dancing
start there.
doesn't go. But there's places I would go and do and see. I mean, I would love traveling more, but we're working all the time.
Right.
No, seriously. I mean, I would go see plays and
Me too.
and concerts. Mercy Me's in concert on. See, he doesn't want to go do concerts. I have all kinds of stuff I do. That's the stuff I'm talking about, though. You need to give to each other. Think about what the other one wants to do.
Make a small group, and you can just go to concerts and go dancing.
Oh my gosh!
For the small group.
Okay, so one last thing, and then we probably should be getting off.
Oh yeah.
Because I've covered the dating part. Mm-hmm. You just keep.
You look tired.
I am tired. When we were first married, probably through the first, I don't even know, maybe 10 years. I don't remember. He used to buy me like roses for Valentines every year.
Very unnatural.
Big, big bouquets. Yeah. And I
couldn't afford any of them.
No, we could not. But I always got them. And the funny thing is,
here comes a rent check.
I always expected them because, well, he did that. And then there was one time we finally were talking about Valentine's, and I was like, I don't really need anything for Valentine's. I just need you to tell me you love me all the other days. You know what I mean? Right. Even the $5 roses from Kroger or whatever, that works. But it doesn't have to be for Valentine's. Any other time during the year, if I'm not hearing it then, I don't want it Valentine's. Right. But it gave us a freedom to not feel obligated on Valentine's to have to go out, because there was a time everybody's like, what are you doing Valentine's? What'd you get for Valentine's? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. And you're just kind of like, we just stayed in. I mean, you've never not gotten me chocolate covered strawberries and some flowers, even if it's less expensive than what you started with.
There's been a time or two I've kind of missed the ball.
I don't think for Valentine's you've ever really missed. But I don't remember.
Yeah.
Mother's Day, you usually screw up pretty good.
Mother's Day. That's another one.
I mean,
You're not my mother.
I'm the mother of your children.
You're not my mother.
So anyway, date your spouse, but also make sure you spend a time getting to really know them because you do change over the years. And there are different things that may bother them, that they may want to do that you don't know. I'm trying to think about all the things that he has said to me in the recent stuff. Yeah.
And just be real.
Smell the roses.
Just be real. Don't even worry about roses. They have no value whatsoever. What's valued is what the roses make.
The relationship is important. Don't be. Our whole point when we watched Sean and he got so upset with that date because he was so concerned with what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to do everything to make her happy. Now I don't even know if she's happy.
His eye was on all the material things.
And if he had not been so focused on all of that and he had been able to be focused on just spending time with her, he would have been able to know more about it.
And he ended up on the couch with a bag of chips.
Right.
And that's where they connected.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
Okay, you're praying.
A bag of bugles.
It's the end of our stuff.
You know what I would connect with? On the couch with a bag of mega stuffed Oreos. That would be also awesome. Delicious. Just like
I'm not responding.
It's awesome.
I'm not responding. Okay. You get to pray for everybody.
All right. Father, I thank you and I praise you. And I just ask that you just bless everybody that's watching today. And we just ask that you bless these relationships that are out there. As each of us try to connect with one another, help us find the inroads with each other, to find the intimacy within each of us, and, of course, that intimacy that leads us to you. And I think that when we place you at our core and we follow your word and your ways, that is the catalyst of which brings us all so much closer to pure joy, peace, and happiness. And we just pray for that to be the fulfillment in everyone's relationship through you, Father. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
You got more? You're
Nope.
hanging in there. Okay. So
next week.
take it easy.
This.
It's going to be about watches, hand holding, what?
Yes, hand holding.
Hand holding.
But I mean, there's more to it than just hand holding. We're going to talk about it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, we do have a whole thing on it.
We do.
Yeah.
Yep. There's important stuff to know about it.
Okay. Keep it simple, people.
Talk to y'all.
Don't muddle it up with the hard stuff.
Talk to y'all next week, 9 o'clock.
All right, your turn to push us out.
Yeah, my back hurts.
Uh-oh. I think I might have done the wrong thing.